Now let's go quickly through the model where I'll show you what happens if you change various KPIs. When you change this particular scenarios, for example, selective, linear, for example, cost of sales accordingly. Okay. So here, let's start with the mix of our sales. For example, here, let's keep mobile phones as selective, smart TV is selective, and these two linear, and accordingly, we'll keep the gross profit here. And accordingly, your sale is changing, and you can see here the KPIs are changing. So if I change this to linear, your gross profit reduces, net profit reduces, and also there is an impact on cash flow as well, little impact because your payments are impacted. Now if you change this to selective, your cash flow, gross profit, net profit, everything is changing. Gross profit is changing because your overall growth in sale has increased, so volume of gross profit has increased. You can see a net profit also increase. At the same time, operating cash flow also change. Now let's make it linear. So here linear case, there is no much change in OCF, but there is an increase in gross profit and net profit. Now let's make home theater system selective. So you can see gross profit is reduced by a small amount. Same time, these two KPIs also reduced by a small amount as well. Now if we put selective for accessories, also the gross profit has reduced, net profit has reduced, and OCF is reduced. Not by big amount, but also not by small amount. So there is a reduction, not a substantial, but there is a noticeable reduction as well. So let's change back to linear, and accordingly this all KPIs are changing. So you can interrelate everything. When you change a single KPI or scenario, how overall business is impacted. As a forecast, this is a fantastic approach to judge and measure your next 1 year's performance. And due to this kind of integrated solution, you can see exactly what might go wrong, what might go really well for your business for next 1 year. So this is a fantastic model and you should start using right now for your business. Now let's see one more important thing about cash flow. So here in this scenario, for example, let's change our cash sales to 5% everywhere. So let me just copy this down like this. So first we made all our cash sales to be 5%. So the percentage of cash sales are reduced. So cash inflow has been impacted. I can see it was 128, now 125. Now let me change this to 10% for all. You can see OCF has changed, and also there is no impact on net profit because overall performance is good. So there is no interest cost. So when you change this scenario of cash sales, credit days for your customer and credit days for your supplier, and also the percentage of cash purchases, there will be impact on cash flow, of course, but there would be impact on net profit as well because the interest element from your LOC is kicking in, right? So here it was 84 and 50. Now it has changed to 88 to 52. You can see here. Now let's make the situation worse. So for example, let's keep the percentage of cash purchases and sales same 10%. And now let's manipulate the credit days. For example, let's keep credit days 60 days. Just keep your eye on the OCF. It is reducing. You can see, right? It has reduced a lot through 88,000. It was around 128, 127. Now it reduced to 88. And net profit also reduced substantially. And net profit also reduced, not by that big amount, but if you go down and see the impact on interest, as you can see, you are incurring more interest than before. Before we had only 2 months of interest now, and everything else was zero, but now you can see we have interest till July. Because we have given lenient credit or very generous credit to our customers, our cash flow impact is affecting our entire OCF performance as well. Now let's make situation really worse. So instead of 30 days, let's assume we are paying on the same month. Here also we are paying in 30. Here we are paying in same month. So basically we are not getting any credit, and here 30. So if we go back here, our cash flow has gone down tremendously. It has gone down to 17,312 instead of around 88 it was before, right? So this is a really bad strategy of doing business in terms of managing your cash flow. So ideally, as I mentioned before, if you are giving 60 days credit, you should get at least 90 days credit or at least 60 days credit from your supplier. Right? So as you can see, the impact on cash flow is really terrible. If you go down, the interest has increased a lot. You are paying now 3,729, which is a very big amount of interest what we have been paying before or we had paid before in the other scenario, right? So this is how the impact on your cash flow is if you do not manage your cash flow and the credit periods with your supplier and customer. So for example, let's make it this thing really positive. Let's make this thing 0, this 30, here 30, here 30, and here 0. Okay. So now we have an amazing situation in managing our credit with the customers. So if you go here and see, your cash flow has gone back to even better than before. It has come to 164,077 instead of merely 17,000 we had before. At the same time, let's get the maximum credit possible. For example, 60 days here, 90 days here, 60 days here, 90 days here, and here suppose 120. Wow, you see, your cash flow has gone off the roof. It's 330,000 in compared to your profit of 166,000 only. And this scenario, we are not incurring any interest. If I see again down, no, there is no interest at all. Why? Because we have amazing cash flow situation. Our cash flow is almost double. So if you go to the OCF conversion down, here in row 155, you're almost doubling your cash flow as compared to your profit. So this is a very good situation of business. If you have this situation in the business, if your nature of your business allows this, you're in a good position to invest your additional cash flow in expanding your business and make your business a really big success. So this is how managing your cash flow is really important, and this model helps you and try to identify the key problems with your cash flow situation. And this is a very easy way to understand as well. If you're a non-finance person, this particular scenario and situation will make you understand things in very simple manner. So that's how I built this model for non-finance people as well. So this particular model can be used by any businessman or entrepreneur who has a very basic knowledge of profits, cash flow, banking transaction. They can also learn and identify problems using this particular model. This was my overall scenario analysis. And if you go back to the dashboard, accordingly, you see everything is changed. You see our cash flow is very fantastic. Everywhere the charts are changing. Now, if you want to make any changes in chart where you have these kind of problems, I will be happy to do that. It's just you need a basic knowledge of charting. So you need to just drag this chart down and increase the area like this. So I can increase the overall chart and I can drag this chart further down, keeping it like this. And now it's better than before. So accordingly, you do this kind of minor changes and your visualization will look better than before if there are some substantial changes. You can also add more charts, which I will do separate videos in my course. So where I'll be adding another chart for cash flow, where I'll be showing a waterfall chart instead of this kind of chart. So that video will be coming up as part of my course. So this is how you forecast and manage your overall business performance for next 1 year. Even if you're a startup, this kind of model really helps you to understand how your business strategy would be and how you need to manage your cost, and not only cost, also your cash flow, because cash is the king, as I mentioned before. It is utmost important that you don't fail in the cash flow department. If you fail in that, even if you're making good money here, for example, if you had amazing sales here, like you are getting a growth of like 25% a month, and you are giving suppose 120 days credit and not getting enough credit, you'll have a very bad situation in terms of cash flow, and you'll be borrowing a lot of money from the bankers, and it will not sustain in the long run. So it is important that profit is also important. Your customer relationship and giving credit to customer is also important. But at the same time, collecting money on time and managing your suppliers' credit is also important. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. Once again, you can enroll into my course to get this template and model completely free if you enroll. And you also will learn how to build this model step by step, including formulas and function, and also the dashboard and charting techniques. But if you don't have time to go through the course, and if you want to buy this template immediately or just want to download now, you can do that as well. Check out the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.